Welcome to District Dialogues. My name is Marvin Arrington Jr., Commissioner for Fulton County, representing District 5. District 5 includes parts of the new city of South Fulton, Southwest and Southeast Atlanta, East Point, Union City, and College Park. Some of the great landmarks in District 5 include Zoo Atlanta, Fort McPherson, which is now home to Tyler Perry's new studio, the Porsche headquarters, Camp Creek Marketplace, and my favorite, the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. During this show, we hope to share information about organizations, initiatives, and resources in District 5 and for areas that I champion in Fulton County. So let's get straight to it. I am proud to serve as an executive sponsor for safety in Fulton County and a member of the Justice and Public Safety Committee for the National Association of Counties, also known as NACO. In our Justice and Public Safety segment, we like to share information from our partners that provide resources and information about justice and public safety. Please meet Mrs. Brenda Muhammad, the Executive Director of Atlanta Victim Assistance, and Candace Chavis, Domestic Violence Victims Advocate. Thank you for coming to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So, what is the mission, Ms. Muhammad, of the Atlanta Victim Assistance Center?
Atlanta Victim Assistance mission is to provide services to all victims of crimes with compassion, dignity, and respect. And we've been doing that for over 34 years now.
And so, which services do you provide to the victims of crimes in Atlanta?
We provide an array of services to different victims of different crimes, but we're focusing on domestic violence today and throughout this month because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And with us here today is one of our domestic violence advocates, Ms. Candace Chavis, and she can talk to you more specifically about the services that DV advocates provide to the victims of crimes.
Yes, as a domestic violence advocate, we work with victims of crimes in court, and also we have zone advocates in all of the Atlanta police departments. We're able to give them services immediately after a crime has been committed, whether an arrest has been made or not.
All right, and so you all collaborate with the Atlanta Police Department and the Atlanta Municipal Court. What types of services do you all receive from the Atlanta Police and from the Atlanta Municipal Court that help you fulfill your mission?
Well, actually, we collaborate. Our services are provided, our advocates are assigned to the zones. You know, we have 6 zones in the Atlanta Police Department. And I think you have, in your district, you cover more than just APD. You have Fulton County as well.
Yes.
But we specifically, like Zone 4 is in your area, and Zone 6 and Zone 3, the Southeast Atlanta. We have advocates assigned to each of those zones. And whenever the police go out to a crime scene and they have the need for a victim advocate, that advocate that's assigned to that zone will accompany them to provide immediate services to the victim of the crime. Far too often, especially victims of domestic violence, they will not want to prosecute, or pursue the case. But if the advocate is there, they can provide services to them and then, get them the appropriate services that they need. And in the court, we are there, so when the case comes to court, the advocate is there to provide services in the court to the victim.
And what distinguishes Atlanta Victim Assistance from other victim organizations or victim assistance organizations?
Yeah, well, one specifically, our agency is a 501c3 nonprofit agency, so we're not governmental. We are independent, so you know what that means. So we get our funding. We have to raise our own funds. And we do that through various benefits that we have, as well as through grants and whatnot, and contributions from the public.
All right. And how is Atlanta I know you spoke of the grants. So are you completely reliant on grants, or are there donors, or is there a way that our listeners, if they want to help or to
Definitely.
contribute, how can they do that?
Well, first of all, for those that don't know about us and don't know enough about us, we'd like to direct them to our website, which is www.atlantava.org, or they can call us at 404-588-4740 to find out more about making contributions. But yes, 3/4 of our funding comes from grants and money that we have to raise. Another portion comes from fines that are paid through the courts. We get a portion of those fines, and the other is contributions.
And how do victims respond when an advocate shows up to help them?
Well, let the advocate respond.
Well, first of all, they are thankful to have someone let them know what's going on in the case.
Yes.
When they walk in a courtroom, they don't know the difference between sometimes who is who and kind of like who do I talk to and what rights do I have.
Right.
So a lot of times I do direct them into getting protection orders, being able to make a victim statement, or just being able to direct them into even mental health counseling and everything that we have housed in that facility.
And she's good at her job too. I actually, in my day job as a lawyer, I had a client that was a victim that needed some assistance, and so we went to see Ms. Chavis, and she helped my client and really made him feel good. So thank you for your work.
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Chavis is awesome. We have several domestic violence advocates. Our advocates specialize in different areas. We have domestic violence, homicide, ag assault, robbery, identity theft. But she is absolutely one of many of our advocates. It's absolutely awesome. So thank you for that acknowledgement.
So if there is a wish list of services that victims need and that Atlanta Victim Assistance could provide, what would that list go to? What would that list include, and how would you use those funds?
Number one, dollars. And we would use those dollars. And Candace, you want to speak to that? Certainly for transportation.
Yes, we do have a lot of people from the community calling and asking for help. Maybe it's housing, maybe it's getting to and from different services that they need provided. And the main thing they are asking for is transportation, and keeping them from getting from A to B can really hinder them in the first place. When you have children and you're trying to pick up and go to a safe location, transportation is the main thing. So that is our focus, that we're trying to focus on making sure we have transportation for victims on an immediate basis.
And in your other job as commissioner, we certainly have a need for more housing, shelter space, because we have far too many victims of domestic violence who have children, particularly teenage boys.
Yes.
And some shelters won't allow the children, especially if they're teenage boys, they don't allow them to be able to stay there as well. And so it breaks up the family, and sometimes victims would rather not report than to break up their family.
Well, that makes sense. Ladies, I just want to thank you for all of the great work that you've been doing. That Atlanta Victim Assistance has provided not only to the city of Atlanta, but to the residents of Fulton County as well. The work that you're doing is commendable, and we thank you, and I thank you for helping those victims. Thank you for coming out today, and when we come back, our D5 Spotlight, stay with us.
Thank you.
In our D5 Spotlight, we give recognition to individuals and organizations who are striving to empower our community and our county. Our next guest is Kelly Graham, Program Director of Southwest Keys Program, and Kimberly Tate, Recruitment and Retention Specialist. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So, tell me and tell our audience about what services you provide.
Well, I'll start with the history of our program. We're based in Austin, Texas. We've been around for about 30 years, providing services to children and families in our communities. We're in 7 states, including Georgia. And so in Georgia, we actually provide tracking services to juvenile courts. We provide mentoring, which is what we do, and functional family therapy services. Specifically for our program, we deal with at-risk kids between the ages of 10 to 17 here in the metro Atlanta area, and we provide a one-on-one mentor for those kids or group mentoring depending on if they're at a participating school.
And how does someone become eligible for the program?
Well, basically, they would get in contact with either myself or Kimberly. And those kids have to be between the ages of 10 to 17 and meet at least one at-risk criteria. So whether that's coming from a single-parent household, being enrolled at a Title I school, having academic problems or juvenile court involvement, that would qualify a child. Our services are free of charge to our families and to the youth involved. And again, they would just simply fill out an intake form and send it back to us.
And how do people find mentors? I mean, do you put the mentors with them, or how do you all find your mentors?
Okay, so I'll turn it over to Ms. Kimberly.
Well, we recruit both mentors and mentees, so that's one of the things that I do. So generally we will do recruitment initiatives either at job fairs. We also do it online. I'll seek out different organizations, and so they too will fill out a form and send it back to us. And then from there, we will look at the mentees that we have, and we also then look at the mentors, and then we try to figure out a good match.
Awesome. Why is it important to mentor?
Great question. I think that mentoring is important because you can't always talk to some family members. It depends, and you're not really too sure that you want to tell them your issues. So having that person who is just there for you only and only cares about your well-being helps you to be more open. And we find that kids who have mentors are doing better in school, doing better in their communities, and they grow up to be great people and leaders. So we encourage people to be mentors because it's good for the whole society. So.
And if I wanted to be a mentor in your program, what would I do? What would our audience do if they wanted to be a mentor or a mentee?
Mm-hmm. Well, basically what you can do is go ahead and go to our website, which is swkey.org/mentor. And on there's an online application for our mentors. They'll also be able to reach us directly. That comes to the corporate office and then here to Atlanta. So parents or mentors can feel free to reach us there.
All right. And are there any other ways that people can help your program and the great mentorship services that you're providing?
Yes, absolutely. Mentoring may not be for everyone, and that's okay. But ways you can help are in-kind donations. So whether that's like tickets to events for our mentors and mentees, maybe providing venue space, even snacks for mentees would be a way to help. If someone wanted to facilitate a group, maybe to come out and speak to our kids, that would be another way they could help as well.
Awesome. And where can we, you already told us where we can find out more information. Thank you ladies, so much for all the work that you're doing for our community, for our youth, and we thank you for your dedication.
Okay, thank you.
We'll return with our art segment after a short break. In addition to serving as an executive sponsor of safety, I also serve as executive sponsor of arts and culture for Fulton County government. Externally, I serve as the vice chair of the Atlanta-Fulton County Recreation Authority and also as a member of the Arts Commission for the National Association of Counties, or NACO. As such, I like to share with you arts and culture organizations, individuals, and programs that are operating in Fulton County. Today, please meet Mr. Ryan Olivetti, Artistic Associate of Serenbe Playhouse. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, a lot of people have heard about Serenbe, but they haven't been able to make it out there.
Yeah.
Please tell us, what is Serenbe and what makes it so unique?
Yeah. So Serenbe Playhouse, we are an outdoor site-specific theater company, which is what kind of gets us our recognition a lot of the time. So basically every time we do a show, it's outdoors and it's in a new location. So we basically build a theater from the ground up every time we want to do a show.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell us about your role specifically with Serenbe.
Yeah, I wear many hats. I'm the artistic associate there, so I deal with a lot of stuff on the artistic side, whether it's helping pick shows that we put on or doing the casting. I deal a lot with the press and different stuff like that as well. So it just kind of depends on the day, depends on what my job title is.
All right. And what educational events are on the horizon for you all?
Yeah, we do a lot of education outreach, and right now, if you're a school group and different things, you can call us and you can book to come see Robin Hood or Sleepy Hollow or Snow Queen. All of them are running, so yeah.
Awesome. Now, I heard something about the Sleepy Hollow experience.
Yeah.
Share that with the audience, if you will.
Yeah, well, it's in its 5th year. It's currently running, and it's just a lot of fun. It's basically in the middle of the woods, and it's really dark and spooky, and there's a headless horseman with a giant live horse every single night.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess I'm supposed to also ask you about season 9. What is season 9?
Well, season 9, we're finishing up season 8 right now.
Okay.
And then season 9 is going to be announced in November. And we have a lot of big things in store. I'll give you a little sneak peek. It has a water theme to it. So we're going to be taking to the water for season 9, and we're really excited about it.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to get you guys over to the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. You don't have to build the stage. The stage is already built.
How convenient! I'm in.
How do our viewers find out more about the Serenbe Playhouse?
Well, we're on all forms of social media, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that, and then also, of course, our website, which is just serenbeplayhouse.com.
Awesome. Ryan Olivetti, thank you so much for coming today, and thank you for doing what you do with Serenbe Playhouse.
Well, I love it, so it's great.
Well, the arts are so important to our community
Yeah.
and to Fulton County, and so we're glad that you all are committed to the arts.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment. As we conclude today's show, we would like to receive words of inspiration and motivation from C.J. Holloman, pastor of Cobb Bethel AME Church.
Hello, I just want to come and give you some encouraging words on this day. I want you to know on the day that you have more on your side. In this world, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's all chaos and confusion, but I want you to know the Bible says, if God be for us, who can be against us? And I just want somebody to know today that you got more on your side. You have more of God's grace, you have more of God's love, and you have more of God's mercy. The children of Israel were surrounded by the enemy. Amen. And they were told that they had to go over to the sea. Amen. But the Bible declares that Moses said to them, listen, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, for the Lord will fight your battle. And that's good news for somebody today. God is getting ready to fight your battle. You don't have to worry about it. You can go to sleep at night because God is getting ready to fight for you.
Thank you, Pastor. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to invite you to stay connected with my office. You can reach me by phone, email, website, and through social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching District Dialogues. We'll see you next time.